All right, guys. So we're gonna go into the Warriors Spurs game from last night, which was an amazing game. I believe 17-point come from behind win for the Spurs. So if you look at the first quarter, 29-17 to the Warriors. So a slow start to the Spurs for the Spurs. And then a pretty evenly matched second quarter, which definitely kept us within striking distance. And then, of course, similar third quarter where, a higher scoring. This was generally a low scoring affair, all things considered. But then that fourth quarter where the team really got it going, led by Wemby and Castle, and really everybody contributing. So going into the specific stats, starting with the Warriors, Draymond Green with a pretty off night, fouled out with 6 personal fouls, and only 1 point for Draymond. So a pretty rough night for him. Did not make a bucket. Of course, Andrew Wiggins had a pretty solid night for the Warriors. Shot a little bit less than 50%, but pretty hot from 3-point land for Andrew Wiggins. So he contributed pretty well. But really, the story of the night was Steph Curry being, in my opinion, held restricted by the Spurs as a collective, but specifically Stephon Castle. But there was a lot of instances where Harrison Barnes and a lot of other people were supporting Castle, after a screen or whatnot, in order for him to get back, because Steph is a really good matchup. So I'm liking that moving forward. Even with Steph Curry being in his later NBA career, he's still very, very dangerous, especially from long range. So we need someone who can really kind of tighten him up. Really just a quiet night. Buddy Hield with a pretty decent shooting night, but just really didn't take too many shots. Kyle Anderson, of course, former Spurs player, is always having a great night against us. It is what it is. Not horrible play from their bench, to be honest with you, but that just goes to show you how well we played. So looking at the Spurs, Julian Champagnie, 4 for 11, really struggled with his 3-point shot, has somewhat struggled with it as of recent. But as we Spurs fans know, shots do not always fall. You kind of go through slumps and then, hot streaks. So really being patient with Julian over this span is going to be essential. Harrison Barnes, man, this guy's been amazing. Just looks like he's happy, looks like he's fired up, and playing really, really well. Even though his plus minus was -4, he just brought a lot of energy, and he's putting in good minutes for a starting role. And then Wemby, of course, 9 for 21. Did take a lot of threes and did miss quite a bit, but when the game was getting closer to crunch time, they were going in. Just 9 assists. He had some beautiful passes. So really excited for his growth, because again, 25, 7, 9, 1 steal, 3 blocks, pretty good. 4 turnovers, a little bit high. We need to continue to work on that. But a very, very good game, as you can see, a plus 16 from Wemby. Chris Paul, of course, having a little bit quieter of a night, but nonetheless, his presence, big shots coming at big times. And then, of course, Steph Castle having an amazing year, continuing to have, in my opinion, Rookie of the Year stats and just play in general and composure on a team that's playing well. So you do want to consider the fact that he's playing well on a team that's playing well. So, I think that just goes to show you that he's lifting the team up a lot with, of course, plus 14. Overall, he had a 19 and 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 19-point night. Not bad at all. And then, of course, the bench, playing well. Zach Collins did not make a bucket. We just really need to get more out of Zach Collins, not only for, in terms of bench contribution, but his trade value as well. Mamu getting, good minutes. I believe he didn't get any minutes the last game. So coming out, playing well, making a 3, but just really, really bringing, 8 rebounds is really good for him. So that's a plus 14. So he did well. Trey Jones continuing to just, get his quiet minutes, but being consistent for us. And of course, Malachi and Blake. Malachi playing well, I think, just knowing his role and really keeping the ball safe. I know he had 1 turnover, but, he's playing well in my opinion. And Blake as well. Blake is just, kind of an awkward tweener, or not a tweener, but he's kind of a point guard that doesn't really have any offensive game. So having to find his role with cuts and his speed is essential, and he's been doing that. So, really the Spurs are they're a good team, and it's been a minute since we've been a good team. I mean, we just beat the team, the number one team in the Western Conference. So I think it's really solid that we're doing that. And let's look at the standings here. So if we look at the standings in the Western Conference, so Golden State 12-4. We just gave them another loss. We are 9-8. All right, so we're down there 9-8, above 500. So that's awesome on a 3-game winning streak. 6-4 in our last 10. Looking ahead, I believe we do have Utah on Tuesday night, and it is an away game. So, we have been 1-5 on the road, so we do need to be mindful of the fact that, that is coming up. So if we confirm that, yes, we have Utah on Tuesday, November 26th at 8 p.m. So again, an away game that we have struggled in. So really want to make sure that the Spurs are ready for Tuesday night, which will be a big game for them. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Just a really exciting Spurs win against the Warriors. I think this team has a lot of potential to go not deep into the playoffs, but to make a playoff seed, and who knows what can happen from there when you have, in my opinion, the greatest player in basketball right now with Victor Wembanyama. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving week. There will be videos throughout, so stay tuned. Some fun stuff coming up. Y'all have a great weekend.